Welcome to part 3 of this series. In this video, we will create our CAP project. We will start with the backend. Then we create a Fiori Elements app and a SAP UI5 app. With CDS Watch, we will run the backend locally and test it in the browser. This allows us to quickly verify that the service is working correctly. I intentionally follow this order. First the apps, then the multi-target application. Some steps shown here are not required if you start with the MTA project first and then create the apps. For example, the deployment configuration or the node scripts in the apps package.json files. So in that case, you would start with part 4 first and then continue with part 3. However, if you already have a project with existing apps, this tutorial is also shown how to handle that situation. This tutorial was created with CDS version 8. Please check your version by running cds-v in your terminal. This will tell you if you are using version 8 or version 9. If there are differences in CDS version 9, I will mark them with a red V8 label in the top left corner of the screen. After that, I will briefly explain what is different in version 9. First, we initialize the CAP project in our project folder and add a tiny sample, and we install the node modules. CDS version 9 creates a very simple example backend during project initialization. However, this example is not used in this tutorial. So please initialize the project only with cds init tutorial --node.js and create the required files manually. You can find the exact files in the GitHub repository and in the video description. We take a first look at the project with CDS Watch. I'm doing this in another terminal so I can keep it running, and we open it in a browser. There it is. Now we open Visual Studio Code in this folder and we start the application generator. We select list report page. The data source is the local CAP project. This is correct. This is correct too. We define a name, tutorial element app for tutorial, and then finish. Sometimes the new version of the application generator do not create columns in the table and fields in the object page. Before we continue, we check in the object page that the table contains the required columns and that the object page contains the required fields. If your page map looks like this, please add the columns as shown here. After that, switch to the object page and add a section and the corresponding fields. And in the browser we see the app exists and still works. Now we open the page map for this application. And we select flexible column layout and activate it. And next we edit the list report page, going to the table. And here we select initial load enabled. When we open the app again, the data is already loaded, and when we click on it, the object page is open on the side. And now we create the SAP UI5 app. Back in the Visual Studio Code, we open the application generator and select Basic. And here the same local CAP project. This is correct. The view is okay. The tutorial UI5 app for tutorial. And we click Finish. Here we don't need the page map. We open the view. We open the view of the app. In this tutorial, we will create a title and a simple list of books. You can also find this code in the GitHub repository. We write this, going to the browser, and we have the UI5 app with the list. This was part 3. We create a CAP project with a backend, a Fiori Elements app, and a SAP UI5 app. In the next part, we will prepare the CAP project for deployment to SAP BTP and Cloud Foundry. We will add SAP HANA, XSUAA, and the HTML5 repository. Then we configure everything as a multi-target application. We will also add the workzone standard service and an app router. At this point, you can already create a Git repository to commit upcoming changes. This helps you track modification in your files. For now, this step is optional. However, when we set up later CI/CD, a Git repository will be required. Thank you for watching. I would really appreciate a like and a follow.